That's very, very strange. I think I'm live. It appears that I'm live. And we have the white circle of death right off the beginning here. Very strange. Anyway, I believe that I am live. If anybody's out there, say hello. Let me know if indeed I am. It seems that I have a pretty good connection right now, but I'm not sure. So, it is Wednesday now, and let me, hey Chad, what's up, man? How's the audio and the video? Is everything coming through well, or no? I'm still screwing around with new things over here, so I'm trying to see what all is working the way that it should, if that makes any sense. Checking on my phone as well. It should, if that makes any sense. Well, there you go. It would appear that it is indeed coming through. I guess. It seems. Anyway, welcome, guys. How you doing? It is Wednesday night. I have been working on setting up some new stuff in the new room here. And I've got the camera, I don't even know where. I think that's better. I don't know. Marcus, hi. Hey, Marcus, what's up, man? Mario Tacoma Upgrades. Hey, Chad Kratz, coming in good. Awesome. I recently switched locations, so things are a little different right now for me. And I got a couple things in today. You can see right back there. There's a pole. So there's going to be something back there yet, but I still have to work that out. I don't have everything figured out for that just yet, so we shall see. Marcus, I was just watching your video from today. Awesome, man. What did you think of those? Did you like them? Do you think they look cheap? Do you think they look good? What do you think? Terrence Tatum. Hi, Rob. Terrence, how you doing? Welcome. A little swig of the green nectar here to get things started. How's the lighting in here too, by the way? I think I can get more. Ooh, there's a lot more. I'm not even sure if that one makes a difference. Not much. Let's see. Rebel Rouser, sup, bro? What's up, man? I see you had a little quality time with the Audi today. It's looking good, man. I don't know. I almost thought it was some kind of sports wagon there for a second, you know. Marcus says they look great. Oh, cool. I'm not typically a big decal guy, you know. I mean, I take everything off of the outside of the truck, and now I'm adding stuff to the inside of the truck. So, yeah, you know, I don't know. But I do like, I love how the engine bay came out. That's cool. My only thing is, I guess I like things to be more permanent, you know. So I would like the ones on the engine covers anyway, or engine cover, to be something more permanent. Maybe painted or something like that. I don't know. Not that what's on it looks bad. I mean, it looks great. You open the hood and, you know, I would say from a distance, you probably can't even tell that they are decals, you know. But wouldn't it be cool if that was painted on there? And of course, if you do that, then you get to worry about heat and paint and all that kind of crap, you know. So I don't know. Rebel Rouser, why are you in my guest house? This is the new RobMotive Studio 1. I guess there is only one, but I've been in the house before, so maybe that was the original RobMotive Studio. But this is Rob Studio Motive 1, and I kind of dig it out here, man. It's kind of cool. It's quiet. It's well insulated. Usually I'm freezing out here, though. For some reason, the air conditioner, it has one of those wall air conditioners, you know, and it works quite well here. You come out here, the way it was set, and I was freezing to death, man. Nate says, liking the rebranding, Rob. Looks more professional. Well, it's going to get even cooler if I can get to work what it is I'm trying to do. I got some stuff in today. Of course, it came in at like 4 o'clock, so I didn't have enough time, 4 o'clock my time. So I didn't have enough time, you know, to get everything set up the way that I want it and all that good stuff. So everything's just kind of hanging out right now, waiting for me to get it all set up, I guess. You can see a pole back there. There's another pole over that way or this way or some way. So things should be good. I'll probably do a little pop-up stream here probably in the next couple of days after I get everything set up and just to test it, see how it works. I'm excited. I want to see what happens, man. Let's see. Rubber Rousers, LOL. Thanking. He's a thanking and a laughing. Marcus, got snow, but not too much. Well, that's good. If you have to have snow, you know, for me though, I guess, if you have to have snow, I want a lot of snow, you know. I don't want just a little bit of snow. I don't want rain at all because that really sucks. But I lost something. If you have to have snow, then why not get a lot, you know? How much did you get? Gear Runner says, well, crap. I'll be listening from the shower again, LOL. Gear lives in the shower. I think Gear's part fish man or something, you know? Terrence Tatum, I like the decals. They're pretty cool, huh? They really dress up the inside of the truck, the glove box. I was a little worried as to how tedious they were going to be to put on. You know, because I'm not the most detail-focused guy when it comes to that kind of stuff. But I will say that X-Acto knife that I stuck them to before I put them on, that really helped out to be able to position them before I stuck them into place. And I got a suggestion today. Somebody, oh, gee, who was it? Oh, my God, I can't. Maybe he'll be on here. Gave me a suggestion, a good way to get in those nooks and crannies and stuff and push those down, and that is to use an eraser. You remember, or maybe they're still around, I don't know, but the old pink erasers, they kind of had a real sharp edge on them, and they're rubber, so they're real soft. Well, if you take those edges and just push down along the edges of the sticker, it should really work well because they're a little tacky as well. So they should work pretty good to be able to stick those stickers in that groove really well. So I got to do that yet. I haven't done it myself. I got to see if I have one of those erasers around here somewhere. But that's a great idea, man. It was Michael, I think, that suggested that. Steven Silvestri. Steven, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the channel, man. Steven says, what's up, Rod? Just trying out my new digs. This is the second night in my new location for the streams here. It's also kind of like it's my office, you know, really. So got to get used to being out here. I'm not real used to being in here, and I think the lighting's good. The lighting is going to change. I actually have what I'll call professional lighting, cheap professional lighting, that I'm going to be using as soon as I get it all set up. So we shall see. Let's see. Rubber Rouser says, LOL, typical Gear. Yeah, that's right. Gear, he loves to live in the shower, man. I don't know. It's the way it goes. E-Dizzle. What's up, man? You need a Tacoma Beast flag to hang on the blank wall behind you. That wall's not going to be blank for long. It's a surprise. You guys will just have to wait and see. That wall's going to change. It's going to change soon. Hopefully by the next stream. That's my plan. However, it would be kind of cool to have one of those flags. Stephen Silvestri, Tundras all the way. You know, I like Tundras. I had a Tundra, and size permitting, I would still have a Tundra. But for me, I just didn't have room for the Tundra, so that's why I don't have one now. But I don't have anything against Tundras. Rebel Rouser says, when are you changing the third brake light? I was thinking about that, strangely enough, today. I don't know. What I'd like is to have it say something like Tacoma or RobMotive would be really cool. So I don't know if you can get custom, you know, reflectors or whatever for the back like that, but that would be awesome, man. Milton Cans. Milton, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the channel, man. Milton says, I have glove box decal, but never never put them on. Oh, well, now should be your motivation, right? I mean, you saw how easy it was to do. Certainly not difficult. So whip them out, stick them in there. You know the directions. If you go to their website, they have directions on how you should use soapy water and stick the decal in the water first and then stick it on. And that's probably the pro way to do it, right? But I found that much more difficult when I tried to do that on the engine cover. And that's probably because I'm not used to doing it that way. But I like the way that mine came out, just doing it the old-fashioned way. Peel and stick, man. And these are forgiving. You know, if you watch the video, you'll see that I did have to pull them off a couple of times to get them properly aligned. So they are forgiving, which is pretty cool, man. Rebel Rouser, how likely are you going to get aftermarket taillights? If I could find some that I like, very likely. I'd love to have aftermarket taillights on there. I just haven't found any that I like. You know, a lot of the aftermarket taillights they look cheap or they're gaudy, you know. I want something that's smoked, number one, but not black. I'm not looking for, you know, so dark that you can't see anything. And I don't want something that looks cheap and flimsy, you know. I see a lot, and it's funny. I've been noticing lately. There is a model year of the Ford F-150, and I don't know which model year it is, but they put a clear taillight on, and I've seen it on more than one truck because the first time I saw it, I thought it was an aftermarket part, but they have like a clear taillight on them, and it looks cheap. You know, it doesn't look good at all, in my opinion. So I don't want to run into anything like that. There's the long answer. Rebel Rouser, you didn't ask my permission if you could put something on my wall. I haven't received your check yet. So the wall is still open to my my methods, my choice. But, you know, as soon as that big check comes, you know, I mean, hey. Boise City Mopar. Hey, guys. How you all doing? Doing pretty good, Dan. How you doing, buddy? What's the latest car? You know, you drove a Dodge Challenger Charger. I think it was a Charger the other night. I can't remember if it was a 6 or an 8-cylinder. You'll have to tell me. Was it a 6 or was it an 8-cylinder? I'm not on live chat either, man. What the heck? There. Now we're on live chat. But you didn't tell me whether it was a 6 or an 8-cylinder. So I'm curious, what did you think of it? You know, I drove a Hellcat. Obviously, it was an 8-cylinder. It had the regular mode, and they gave me the red key. The red key is the, like, hold-on mode, you know? And that thing was lightning fast. And, you know, I liked it. Oh, that's good. I liked it. I really did. I mean, like I said, it's one of the fastest cars, production cars, non-hyper cars, how do you want to say it, that I've ever driven. But, man, the problem is I don't know how you would do with that car in a straight line. And the other problem with it was, even in the parking lot, as soon as I touched the gas, the tires broke loose, you know? And that was just going slow in a parking lot, and I wasn't jumping on it or anything. I was just driving. Now, in all fairness, the tires were almost like slicks. You know, they were, my guess is they were probably a summer compound, and they were a little bit worn, I'm sure. So, you know, it's probably not fair to judge them that way. But, like I said, the car was like lightning fast, man. It was fun to drive, and I wouldn't mind having one just to, it's something laying on the table here, just for something to kick around, you know. Justin says he sent it last month. Well, you must have sent it to the Ohio address because I have not seen it here. Boise City Mopar. It was a V6 Charger. So what did you think of the power of the V6 Charger? I mean, I've never driven a V6. I've only driven the V8 Hellcat, and that was a Challenger, right? The Challenger Hellcat, I think. What did you think? Boise City Mopar says, Rob, that car is too much for you, LOL. No, I don't think so. I don't think so at all. If anything, it probably wasn't enough, you know? I do like off-the-line power. I mean, that's awesome. Boise City Mopar says, the Hellcat. Yeah, I understand. You're trying to say that the Hellcat is too much for me. I've had faster cars. You know, the Corvette was, I've certainly driven faster cars, but not much faster. But the The Corvette, I'd say, that I had was probably equivalent, maybe a tad slower. And I'm talking about feel, not numbers. I don't even know. I know it's less horsepower, but it felt every bit as fast. And of course, the Corvette is light. I mean, it's a fiberglass body, very light, and the Challenger Hellcat is big, giant American muscle, and it was heavy and metal, and definitely felt a bit slower, I guess I'd say, than what the Corvette did. At least, again, in feel. I know if you look at it on paper, with all that horsepower, you'd think I was nuts, but I got to tell you, it really did. So, let's see. Back to the topic of the night, and that is the decals that I recently put inside the Tacoma. Now, these decals I got from Dennis, who is a subscriber on the channel, and he had some left over. He actually bought these for his truck, and he sent me a picture and asked if I would be interested in them. And once I saw the pictures of how they looked in his vehicle, it was a no-brainer for me. I mean, I think they look freaking awesome. So he sent them to me. They came from a company called TVD Vinyl Decals, I believe. And it's funny because recently I was on, is either Instagram or Facebook. I think it was probably Facebook. And they're advertising all over Facebook right now. I mean, every time I go on Facebook, it seems like I see an ad for that company, TVD Vinyl Decals. Now, I'm not affiliated with them. Like I said, they were sent to me by Dennis, a subscriber, so they didn't sponsor the video or anything. But the quality was great. They were vinyl, and I don't even know if you can buy a paper sticker anymore. I don't even know if the little cheap stickers you get, you know, like for garage sales and stuff to stick on things, I guess those are probably paper or plastic. But they were good quality. The cut was good on all of them. I mean, the only problem I had, you know, when I did the, and I mentioned this in the video, but when I did under the hood on the engine cover, the Toyota symbol was pretty darn difficult, and that's because it's kind of angled. You know what I mean? Kind of contoured, if you will. Kind of flattens out, or it's kind of like it's a cone or something. I don't know. But that was difficult to get on because I started probably in the wrong spot. I don't know. I think to do that, you really kind of have to try to start in the middle and then kind of fan out the edges as you go. I think that makes it a little easier to do. And probably the water soapy mixture or whatever, so that you can kind of slide them around a little bit. That would probably make things a little bit easier, life a little bit easier when doing that one. Now, I will say, in doing all the others, using the water solution that they recommend, the soapy solution, that made it more difficult for me. But, and actually, I don't know if you can see it in the video, but on the Toyota one, when I took it off because it was so wrong, I actually tore, you know, the little round part that goes up on the sides, on the bottom, I actually tore that and had to kind of piece it back together. It seemed to blend in pretty good, and with my fingernail, I could kind of smash it down so it was kind of melded, if you will, with the other piece that it broke off from. So I don't know, that was kind of a pain. Like I said, it would be really neat to maybe tape those up, and then, and I think you could do this pretty easily actually, but tape them up, and then with a pretty sharp X-Acto knife or something, cut out the letters, all of that stuff, and then spray the cover red. You know what I mean? And then leave the black exposed. So it would be red, or the other way around. I mean, you could spray it red, I guess. Yeah, that's probably what I'd do. I'd probably spray it red and then leave the black, you know, valleys and stuff underneath and in between the lettering black. I think that would be pretty cool. And I probably will do that eventually. We'll see how this wears. If they wear well and I don't have any problems as far as that goes, yeah, then I'll probably leave them that way, but we'll see. Let's see. Boise City says the V6 has plenty of power. It can get off the line. I got from 0 to 60 in about 6 seconds with no issues. It's got to be a sub 6 second car, man. It's got to be sub 6 second car. Boise City says, in fact, I had to be careful because I almost broke the speed limit in that thing. Well, I could see that. I could see that. But I got to think there's a world of difference between that 6-cylinder and the 8-cylinder. I mean, the 8-cylinder, the Hellcat, anyway, is supercharged, I believe. Boise City, Rob, what do you need to do now is test a Hellcat wide body. They are wider tires, so you should be able to put the power to the ground a lot more efficiently. I bet it spins just as easy as the other one, man. Boise says, Rob, the reason why the Hellcat couldn't put the power to the ground most efficiently is because they're only using a 275 tire, which are way too skinny for that type of vehicle. Could be, and they were almost slicks, I gotta say. Those tires were almost slicks that were on the Hellcat that I drove. Robert Bindle. Robert, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the channel, buddy. Robert says, we all need a live stream about some glove box decals. Seriously. Hey, brother, you didn't have to click that button. Seriously. Gear Runner says, oh no, that tear was very noticeable. I saw it all the way in TN. I saw it all the way in TN. You did not. You did not see it. No way, man. Boise City Mopar, Gear Runner, LOL. He's a laughing a couple of times. Edge Everyday says, live chat, buddy. Edge, you're late. I wasn't on live chat. I realized it. And now I'm back on live chat. Or I am on live chat, I should say. So here we go. Rebel Rouser. Brian, says Justin. Edge Everyday says, I am not getting notified. I don't know why. Everything is set to notify. Did anybody else get notified? Boise City Mopar. Hey, Gear. Aren't you glad you 86'd that Ford? Aren't you glad you 86'd the Ford? Yeah, I saw Gear's video today about Ford's recall. That's a drag. 1.5 million vehicles. That sucks. Of course, I have a recall on the Tacoma for the front brakes. The master cylinder rather has to be replaced. So, I don't know. Gear Runner says, heck yeah, I am. Edge Every Day. Hello, Rebel and Gear and Dan. Boise City Mopar. Rob, if I wanted to go sub 6 second, I would buy the RT model. Dan, why wouldn't you want to go sub 6 seconds? Huh? Boise City Mopar says, hey, Edge. Rebel Roger says, have you modded the Civic at all? Any future plans? Nothing lately. The only thing I was thinking about doing, funny, with the Civic is the shift knob. I actually found, and I don't know if it'll fit, when we moved, I found a shift knob that I took off of something. I don't even know what it's off of. I'm thinking it was off of a Honda, maybe the SI that I had. I'm not sure. So I'm thinking it'll fit. I kind of like it. It's kind of plain Jane. It's maybe a little, I don't know. I don't even know if it's better. It's probably equivalent to what the Civic has on it now. But I'm thinking that I'm gonna swap that out. So we'll see. Anything else? You know, I can't really think of anything else that I want to do with that car at the moment. So we'll see. Edge Everyday says, I am just editing. Awesome. Awesome. I hope it's what is it? What's the video? I bet it's a shop-related video. Am I right? Rebel Roger says, have you had problems with the master cylinder? No, I haven't had any problems. I got a recall that says that it could fail. There's a bad seal in it. And you could, in essence, not have the correct braking power in the front. So they're going to replace the whole master cylinder. I can't believe they're doing that as opposed to just replacing the seal. But maybe it's a pretty difficult seal to replace and it would cost them a fortune to do that. I'm not exactly sure. So I did call them. I'm going to take it in. It'll probably be first of next week. They have to order the part in. And I will give the dealership credit. You know, the first call that I made, the door out here just opened and went shut. Very strange. And there's no window, so I can't see who's there. That was weird. That was very odd. So anyway, the master cylinder is going to be replaced probably at the first part of next week, I think. So we'll see. I'm waiting for a call back so that we should we should get it done, you know. Gear Runner says, I mainly did that video for everyone who said I was lying in my other videos, laughing my arse off. Yeah, I sent you a comment. We'd like a polygraph test of some sort, just to, you know, settle it once and for all. We'll probably ask you a few other questions during that test as well, just to get to the truth. Edge Everyday says, I think I blew an axle. I need to take it to the dealership very soon. What? On your new truck? You're kidding me. How? How did you do that? Boise City says, yes, Rob, I got notified. That's awesome. Terrence said, I didn't get notified either. That sucks. M. Jones says, my notification always works. Email. That's awesome. And welcome, Mark. How you doing? Edge Everyday says, the shifter I made should fit. What did I have it on? The Type R. I would have to see. I don't know. You know, it's funny, but there are some differences between the Type R and the other cars, i.e. the wheels and tires, for one thing. I was going to put the wheels on the Honda that I had from the Type R, for the Type R, rather, for the winter, and they didn't fit. Different pattern. Let's see. Edge Everyday says, wood shop. Awesome. Chad Connaught says, I was notified. Cool. So it seems like it's kind of hit or miss. That's weird. Now, I know in the notification thing, because I was just looking at that the other night, you can choose what notifications you get. You know, not so many, everything, stuff like that. So maybe some of you have it checked so that you don't get every one. I don't know. My guess. Boise City says, well, Rob, are you going to help me buy the gas for the car? I didn't think so, LOL. Oh, well, no, Dan. I mean, if you're going to buy a car like that, you're going to have higher insurance costs. You're going to have higher maintenance costs. And guess what? You're going to have higher gas costs, buddy. If you don't want that, buy a freaking Prius. I'm just saying. Robert Roger says, what makes you think you blew an axle, Edge? Yeah, I want to hear more about this. Boise City Mopar says, and also, Rob, are you going to help me pay the insurance on that car? Because you know in art, he's going to jack up the insurance rates because it's a high-powered car, LOL. Oh, there's no doubt. You're going to pay more in insurance probably on either one than you would if you got a Prius. I mean, come on, Dan. You got to be all in, buddy. Either buy a Prius or buy a performance car. But don't buy a wannabe performance car. You know what I'm saying? You got to be all in, man. Come on. After all, your name is Boise City Mopar. I mean, nobody wants to tune in there and see a Dodge Dart, 1960. Well, they probably would want to see that. Let's go 70s. Rebel Rouser says, I read that. Rebel Rouser says, hey, Chad, Edge Everyday says, it's a small bit on O-ring, and they need to take it all apart to get to it. Oh, that sucks. I hope, and I'm sure there's probably some warranty on that. Gear Runner says, I replaced the seal one time. I got a small otter instead. I'm not sure if that's funny or not. You guys will have to determine that. I mean, is that funny? I don't know. It was a good attempt. I mean, I'll give you an A for effort, but I'm not really sure if that's funny. Edge Everyday, he's laughing out loud. He thought it was pretty funny. Boise City Mopar says, Edge, what did you do to the truck? Yeah, did you overload that thing when you were moving or what? Or are you hauling around this equipment, and that's what it is? Gear Runner says, well, great. Now Rob's scared again. That's right. Must have been a big cockroach because it even turned the handle. Boise City Mopar. The Civics are so boring, Rob. Doesn't even want to do any mods to him anymore. LOL. No, not really. People just aren't interested in that on this channel. But there are plenty of channels and people out there that do it, let me tell you. Chad says, hey, Rebel Rouser. Edge Everyday says nothing. I believe that it has been bad, but not noticeable. I think that it's contributing to my bad gas mileage. Really? How would that attribute to bad gas mileage? I'm curious. I don't know. Boise City Mopar says, hey, Chad, how you doing there, Chad? What's up, buddy? Edge Everyday says, I believe all Civics have a 10 by 125 thread pattern. Maybe thread pattern's not the right word. It was the way the studs were positioned. They didn't fit between the two. They were different. Boise City Mopar says, geez, Edge, you and the Tundras, man. I know. This is like the 80th one, and something keeps going wrong. People hit them. They have problems. I don't know. Chad Connaught says, hey, Boise City Mopar. Rebel Rouser, get a Prius, Dan. You can put a nicer exhaust on it. Hey, I'm telling you, man, maybe that's what it is. You're going to have to change your name again, Dan. You're going to have to be like Boise City Prius or something like that. I don't know. Edge Everyday. I hear a groan when I turn, a vibration, and the rear doesn't handle the same in turns. Kind of like a low pressure tire feeling, and the shifting isn't that good. Wow. Well, that sucks. It really does. Boise City Mopar. Rob, do you think for one cotton picking minute, I'm going to buy a daggone darn it Prius? I'll buy a Prius maybe, or simply so I can set it on fire and roll off a cliff. LOL. Now see, Dan, if you've got the money to be buying cars, lighting them on fire, and rolling them off cliffs, you certainly have the money to get a V8 performance car and pay for the gas. I mean, come on, man. Rebel Rouser says, that room sounds pretty empty. I paid for a furnished room. It's not. Here, I'll show you around. Are you ready? Here's the room. There's the bed with all my junk on it. There's a dresser over there with, whoops, more junk on it. Little TV in the corner. And a little washroom type area, whatever, there in the back. Even has a closet right over there. I'd call that pretty darn snazzy myself. Pretty darn snazzy. All right. Hopefully the camera's back where it's supposed to be. I got to take a look. Yeah, there he is. All right, let's get back to it here. We got Dan wasting his money and throwing burning cars off of cliffs. Justin's complaining about a room that he hasn't even paid for. Justin says, that sounds pretty bad, Brian. Yeah, it sounds like it sucks, man. It really does. Boise City Mopar says, well, Rob, why do you think I'm buying a V6 power charger? Gets good gas mileage and has power, and has good power. 50-50 win-win for me. I think you're copping out, Dan. I think you're selling yourself short. I'm just saying. Edge Everyday says, if the rear axle isn't lined up properly, there is a load on the motor, almost like hauling. Really, and it can be off that far, and you're still able, I assume you're still able to drive it, or are you not able to drive it? I just can't imagine there being that kind of a load on the motor from something that's that misaligned, and you'd still be able to drive it. Now, I'm just asking. I'm certainly not a mechanical expert, but man, I would think that would be very severe. But like I said, I could be wrong. Rebel Rouge says, I feel that with my bad front axle. I feel that with my bad front axle, Brian. Well, that's a Honda Odyssey. I mean, that's probably normal. Edge Everyday says, in New Jersey, the roads are awesome, so it can't have anything to do with the pothole I hit. Oh, yes. Yeah. I probably wouldn't bring that up. Rebel Rouser says, that's a pretty cool place. It is pretty neat. It's like a small one-room apartment, really. I mean, there's no kitchen in here. I mean, I suppose if there was a kitchen in here, it would indeed be like its own standalone house, So it's pretty neat from that respect. Edge Everyday says, Dan is talking a lot of bull squat. Yeah, come on, Dan. I'm telling you, you got to get the V6, buddy. Or maybe do something, I'm sorry, the V8. Or maybe do something to, hey, nice hair, man. Check that out. Isn't that nice? There. Get that all kind of schmoozed around there. You know why I have a hat on, right? Dan's talking a lot of bull squat. Edge Everyday says, I drive it. Edge Everyday says, it is the difference of 3 miles per gallon. I'm curious. When did you notice? I mean, were you getting, I assume, better gas mileage before this happened, or what? Edge Every Day says so. Gear and I can't stay in that room now. You are an Indian giver. LOL. Well, first of all, I never gave the room away. I never did. You guys assumed. I did offer the end of the driveway. You know, I've always offered the end of the driveway, no matter where I've been. That's what I've offered. So the room, you guys kind of took it upon yourselves. So I gotta say, it's not me. That's what I gotta say. Rubber Rouser says Arby's roast beast gyros are so daggone darn it good. I haven't had a gyro since I was in college, and had a few cocktails, and then I ate a gyro, and I actually ate it the way you're supposed to, instead of taking everything apart. And I gotta say, after a few cocktails, the gyro is pretty good. It was pretty good. So I can imagine that Arby's is pretty good as well. Boise City Mopar says, no edge. I speak the truth. I'm telling you, I speak the truth. Unlike, some others, I don't know. Edge Every Day says, no, it is gradually going down since I bought it. And the mileage wasn't that good to start with. Yeah, I know. I mean, it's a Tundra, right? What was it getting? 14? Maybe 15 if you were lucky. I don't know. I was actually on the web tonight looking at Tundras. I was going to build a Tundra, actually, just for kicks. Not for the stream, just for kicks. So I was on there looking, and the Crew Max is rated at 13 something. I don't remember the high end, but 13. And I thought, it's no wonder the Crew Max I had was getting such crappy mileage. I mean, 13. God, that goes so far back. They have got to do something. I mean, if Toyota doesn't do something with the Tundra, they're going to be in a world of hurt, man. I mean, they're going to lose so much because they are just so far behind. 13? God, it's horrid, man. Rebel Roger says, I forgot you hate sandwiches. Yeah, I don't eat sandwiches, man. I don't eat them together. If I get everything plain to begin with, and then I take them apart and I eat everything separately because I'm weird like that. I don't know. Boise City Mopar says, wow, Edge, that sucks, man. I'm sorry, dude. I didn't mean to do it. I don't know how I did it, but I didn't mean to do it. Rebel Rouser says, you're getting 3 miles per gallon now, Brian. No, I think he's getting 3 miles per gallon less. Edge Every Day says, I was getting 10 to 11 when I got it. Oh, my God. Man, that sucks. Don't you think that sucks? I mean, I like the Tundra, and that sucks. Champagne Jones says, I like a good old Bologna. Bologna? Bologna? Mater, tomato, and onion sandwich. See, that has no appeal to me whatsoever. All that stuff, I mean, I don't like tomatoes. Onions I can eat in a salad and some cooked things. And onion rings, I do like those. But bologna, not a bologna fan. Gear Runner says, hey, I was getting 15.5 to 16 mile per gallon the other day. Boom! Sorry, that's probably loud. That's pretty good for a Tundra, but it still sucks. It sucks, although you're probably getting about the same as what I'm getting in the Tacoma. But I make a lot of really short stop-and-go trips, man, so it's not a fair comparison. Krista says, Bologna, mustard, and pickle sandwiches are the best. That just sounds disgusting. Rebel Rouser says, the 2020 Tundra will have an aluminum body and turbocharged V6, LOL. It might. It might. And I've even heard talk about electric motors and stuff to kind of pump that up a little bit. So we'll see. I don't know. Krista, by the way, where are you? Did you come out here and open the door and then turn around? I mean, I'm confused. Somebody came out here and opened the door. The gate's shut, so how did you manage that? Let's see. Rebel Rouser says the 20, I read that. Edge Every Day says, I am down to 9.5 miles per gallon. Oh my God. Buddy, that's horrible, man. Pretty soon you're going to put gas in the tank, and as soon as you turn the key, you'll be out. Boise City Mopar, he's a triple laughing. Wow, Brian, that's awful. I agree. It's horrid, man. That's even worse than Dan's new V8 supercharged Hellcat it's going to get. I mean, Edge Every Day says hashtag Cream Nation. Cream Nation or Krista Nation. Hashtag Team Nerds. Hashtag Team Krista. Rebel Rouser says, yes, Krista. Boise City thought better of it. Gear Runner says, Boo Jack. There you go. Boo Jack. Boise City Mopar says, by the way, has anybody heard from Jack? I got an email from Jack about a week or two ago or something that he was on the road working and that's why he's not been on the streams and stuff. But anybody hear anything else from Jack? Boise City says, yep, Brian, you definitely got some issues with that truck. So I would definitely take it back and have them go over it and make sure everything's working right. Yeah, something's just not good. I mean, something's wrong. Edge Every Day says, wow, my screen just jumped, man. So now I got to go find it. Edge Every Day said, hey, Dan, it still runs 6.5, 0 to 60. There you go. See, Dan, you got a truck that's beating your Charger, man. I mean, come on, you can't have that. Come on, buddy. Krista Greenbean says, hashtag Edge Every Day. Krista Greenbean says, yay, Justin. Rebel Rouser says, I haven't seen Jack in forever. Is he okay? Yeah, he's working. They sent him out of the country, maybe Russia, I'm not sure. But he is working, and that's why he's not been on. Like I said, he sent me an email, which he didn't have to do, you know, to let me know. So I think he's fine. Krista Greenbean says, I did. Well, why did you come to the door and turn around and leave? Why don't you come in here? We're waiting for you. Boise City Mopar says, and also, Rob, the reason why I'm not buying an RT is because they're too expensive for me and aren't these are not widely available in this area as opposed to the V6, which is. I understand all that, Dan. I really do. However, I think you should mortgage your future, have one shipped in from wherever you can find it. I mean, it's only going to cost you about $3,000 to ship it. And, you know, while you're at it, just tack that into the cost, man. And you will have the most unique, coolest Charger in your town. I mean, isn't that worth something? I'm kidding, of course. You should certainly do what you can afford and no more. Gear Runner says, I think, therefore I am. No, he said, I think the Tundra will get the Tacoma, I think it's Taco, composite bed in 2021. They certainly should, but I'll bet you're wrong. I'll bet you they won't do it, and I bet you they won't because of the way people think about the composite bed. Even though it's been proven it's as strong or stronger than steel, but it's all about impression. I mean, look how it's gone for Ford with the aluminum body and bed. I'm just saying. Champagne Jones says, I have this weird thing with consistency, and usually don't eat condiments on sandwiches. Champagne, you and I, we're the same. I can't eat anything that's mushy. You know, bread that gets wet and soggy is disgusting. I can't stand that. Mashed potatoes, never eat them. I don't think I ever have. I hate ketchup. There aren't any condiments I do like, except for like A1 and Worcestershire sauce. And speaking of Worcestershire sauce, did you know that Worcestershire sauce is made with sardines? I used to like Worcestershire sauce until I saw how it's made. Woo. It's nasty, nasty, nasty stuff. Rebel Rouser says, that's funny, Krista. Yeah, you see what she's doing? She's playing with me. Boise City says, what's a gyro? It's a Euro, actually, but I like to put my own twist on it. It's lamb, right? Isn't it lamb? Pork? Pork? Lamb? I forget. Wrapped up. It's Greek. Edge Every Day says 38 gallons. I get 350 miles per tank. Wow. I don't know if that's good or not. And it sounds like that's going down. Rubber Rouser says, Mediterranean taco. That sounds pretty good. Mark says, fried bologna is also called Newfoundland steak. Krista, I'm surprised she didn't kick in and mention that. She has talked about this Newfoundland steak before, so I'm sure she'll probably kick in maybe. I don't know. Let's see. lost my spot again. Gear Runner says, I got an email a week or so ago also. Said the same thing. Really? Well, it'll be interesting to see, man. I don't know. Speaking of that, and I don't know if you want to say or not, but did you make a decision on the Tundra? I am personally just curious. If you don't want to say anything about it on the live stream, I understand that. Just say you'll find out or something. But I'm curious. Inquiring minds want to know. Boise City Mopar says, Brian, I would trade it back into him and tell him to hook you up with a newer model and take some money off the MSRP for the inconvenience. I'm not sure what world you're living in, Dan, but that doesn't happen. Good luck in doing that. Krista says, Mark, you are right. Fried Newfie steak with mustard is excellent. Gross. I used to eat fried bologna when I was little. Mom used to make that. Not anymore. Gear Runner says, hey, the old Ford Lightning was faster than most cars in the 2000s. Oh, yeah. Yeah, those Ford Lightnings were pretty cool, man. Probably got about 2 miles a gallon, but Krista Greenbean says, I'm feeding Louie. Well, when you're done feeding Louie, I don't know what time it is. We've been on here for, I don't even know. Where's the clock? There used to be one. There it is. Yeah, about 45 minutes. So we'll be on for a little while longer. Edge Everyday says, Rob, that answer is easy. You were in there, LOL. That's right. That's right. Gear Runner says, maybe she heard you and tried to sneak back into the house. Well, she opened the door. I mean, this is separate from the house, right? Gear Runner said, I read that. Gear Runner says, great minds, Edge. Laughing my arse off. Krista says, Brian, that's funny, and she's a double laughing. Yeah, it's just freaking hilarious. I might be armed out here, you know. Champagne Jones says, I heard the 2021 Tundra is going to run without spark plugs. So you're saying it's going to be diesel? How can it run without spark plugs? Unless it's diesel or it's electric. That would be some heck of a new technology that I'm unaware of. Krista Greenbean says, that's it, Gear. That's it. Gear Runner says, I knew it, Krista. I knew it. I knew it. Gear Runner says, what do you mean how I went for Ford? They had record sales in 2018. What do you mean how it went for Ford? They had record sales in 2018. Yeah, but didn't they change the bed on that truck? I thought they changed it. They went back to steel from aluminum. Am I wrong? Boise City Mopar sounds like Toyota's going down the same route as Ford, and we all saw how well Ford's doing. Well, there you go. Gear just said that they had record sales in 2018, so I'm guessing they're doing pretty good. Boise City Mopar sounds like Toyota's going down the same. Read that. Rubber Rouser, can I just take a moment to vent? Yes, go. About the cost of things. $3.50 for a gallon of milk and $300 for a dental cleaning. Wow. I don't drink milk, so I don't know. And I haven't been to the dentist since I went out on my own, and I'm not sure what the cost is these days because I had dental insurance before, which I don't have now, so I get to pay that myself. So I'll be curious. Is that expensive? I don't know. Krista Greenbean says, so you like sardines then? Oh my God, it was disgusting. What do they do? They pickle them, they ferment them, they do something. They stick them in like a big 55-gallon drum, and then they leave them sit packed in salt for like a year. And then they pull them out, and you have this nasty, stinky mess, and they refine it or whatever they do and add other crap, and they make Worcestershire sauce. It's disgusting. I had no idea. I'll still eat it, though, because I like Worcestershire sauce. But, man, is it gross. Ugh. Edge Everyday says, it's almost fish sauce. Yeah, it's gross. Did you know that's how they made Worcestershire sauce? Or Worcestershire, however you want to say it. I had no idea that's how it was made. Lately, I've been into watching How's It Made videos. When I don't have a video to watch on YouTube, I'll watch a How's It Made video. They're like 5-minute videos, and I watched that the other night. It's quite disgusting. Edge Everyday says, I read that. Rubber Rouse says, LOL, steak sauce has anchovies too. What? Oh my God, my world is collapsing, man. Oh. Boise City says, Rubber Rouser, dude, you're paying $3.50 for a gallon of milk. We only pay like $1.87 for a gallon of milk. Yeah, what kind of milk are you buying? That does seem rather expensive to me too. Gear Runner says that's not. That's not. That's not. I don't know. Rebel Rouser says I guess Idaho has more cows. That's true. They eat all those potatoes, so it's cheap food and cheap meat. In this case, milk. Gear Runner says with 35s, I think I get around 450 to 500 miles to the tank. Wow, that's the problem, Brian. You need 35s. Get rid of those tires you have. Go to 35s. Champagne Jones says if you have to eat a steak with either of those condiments, it's poorly cooked. It's a poorly cooked piece of meat. Sometimes. Sometimes I just like the taste of it on steak, to be honest with you. I understand what you're saying, but sometimes I like to just dress it up a little. But I understand. Gear Runner says, not after Ocasio gets done with them, Justin. Not after Ocasio gets done with them. Let's see. Edge Everyday says, I heard from Jack about 1.5 weeks ago. Yeah, it was somewhere in that range, I think I heard it from him as well. But Champagne Jones says, send it back and try their burgers. Robert Malone, how you doing? Is this a cooking show? It's wherever we happen to go, bud. What would you like to discuss? As long as it's G-rated, you know. Cooking generally is G-rated, unless you're a cannibal. Rebel Rouser's laughing his arse off at Gear. Gear Runner says, I haven't bought it yet, but I will soon. It's going to be great for the channel, man. I think it's a good move myself. But, you know, I'm just saying. Krista says, sardine sandwich with mustard is excellent too. Yes, I love mustard. That's disgusting on both cases. Boise City says, Rebel Rouser, yes, you are correct. We do have more cows, ergo cheaper milk. Edge Everyday says, extremely high compression, LOL. Rebel Rouser says, Krista, are you a good wife and make Rob sardine sandwiches for lunch? That would not be a good wife. Gear Runner says, I thought it was still aluminum. I am not sure. I thought they went back to steel because there was so many complaints about it being aluminum, but I'm not positive on that. Boise City says, Ed, so essentially your V8 Tundra is as bad, as fast as the V8 Charger I tested. Okay. Text to speech, I don't know. Krista says, Justin, every day. Justin, every day. No, that's not true. Champagne Jones says, Mike Swears is engineering the 2021 Tundra with hatches in the driver and passenger floor pan so customers can pedal for improved gas mileage. You gotta have some strong legs after you do that. Rubber Rouser says, that's awesome. I'm buying one. Gear Runner says, I had my teeth cleaned Monday. It was free. What? How do you get free tooth cleaning? Boise City Mopar says, Rob is a strange human being. Are you sure he's not from another planet? LOL. You're not the first to say that. Rubber Rouser says, how was it free, Gear? What did you do? Gear Runner says, I hate beer in a can. That's unusual. Boise City Mopar says, Rubber Rouser, he probably got it free through work. Could be. Krista Greenbean says, and you eat that sauce all the time, honey. I'm going to make sardine sandwiches for you. You'll love it. I've actually eaten a sardine, and I do not love it. Boise City Mopar says, Gear Runner. And why in the world would I want to watch your old videos from the beginning all over again? Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? And I skipped something there, I believe. Let's see. Boise City said, Gear Runner, I don't blame you on that, dude. Beer in a can is disgusting. Gear Runner says, hey, anytime you don't have a video to watch on YouTube, start from the beginning of Gear Runner's channel and watch them all again. You know, I've already done that like 15 times, so I just can't anymore. Edge Everyday says, Champagne, if you need anything other than salt and pepper on a steak, you're doing it wrong. Boise City, really? Really? Really, Rebel Rouser? I only spent $33 to fill up my car, LOL. Krista Green Beans, wait a minute. Rebel Rouser said one thing that isn't expensive is gas. Only $40 to fill up the van. Hey, gas is pretty cheap here too, man. Krista says, oh my God, you just made a strange face and the screen froze. Well, there you go. Maybe I froze it for you. Gear Runner's laughing out loud. Rubber Rouser says, you have a Tesla, Dan. You have a Tesla. Boise City Mopar, Rubber Rouser. No, I have a 2007 Pontiac G6 with a 3.5 liter V6 and a 16-gallon tank. Laughing my arse off. Well, that's a smaller tank than a Honda, I think, isn't it? Champagne Jones says, you got it, Brian. You got it. David Wilson. What's up, David? David says, looking for mud flaps from 2019 SR Tacoma with flares. Any suggestions? The only suggestion I'd have is go OEM, but I don't know much about them because I don't have them, and I'm not a big fan of flares, to be honest with you. Are you talking about fender flares? I'm sorry. I was thinking mud flaps. Oh, my God. I don't have fender flares either, other than what's OEM. But Bushwhacker. Bushwhacker is the best one that I've seen. And you can get them color matched. You can get them with, the hardware showing, all that kind of stuff. And they look pretty darn simple to put on. So I would go Bushwhacker if I was to do something. Rebel Rouser says, hey, David. Boise City Mopar says, I swear, the stuff that Canadians eat is interesting and stomach turning all the time. LOL. Yeah, French fries with gravy on them. Pretty gross. Champagne Jones says, salt, pepper, and good cold Coors Light. Coors Light Bear. Gear Runner. I think WeatherTech makes some David Wilson. Yeah, I think you're right. I think they might too. I don't know. Sean DeLong says, hey, Rob and Krista, just got on. What's the topic of the day? Hey, Sean, how you doing? Well, it's kind of open right now. We've been talking to food, cars, stickers, gas mileage, you name it. Gear Runner says our insurance pays 100% for 2 cleanings a year. Wow. That's awesome. Rubber Rouser says, that's awesome. Sean DeLong says, hey, Gear Tool. Or 2. Hey, Gear 2. Let's see. Gear Runner says, I used to eat sardines when I used to go hunting. Wouldn't they be pretty stinky for whatever you were hunting to smell? I don't know. Justin says, hey, Sean, what's up? Boise City Mopar says, Gear Runner. What we see, your insurance pays for that stuff. My insurance only pays 50%, and then I get to pay the rest. Well, at least you have it. I don't have dental insurance anymore. Gear Runner says, hey, Sean, how's it going? Boise City Mopar says, okay, so the 2021 Tundra will be diesel only. Well, that's not good, LOL. I can't see that. David Wilson said, thanks, Gear Runner. Gear Runner says ours pays 100% on cleanings, 80% on everything else. That's nice. Gear Runner says, you're welcome, David. Krista says, hey, Sean. And Joe R.L. Joe, what's up, buddy? Well, Rob, I tried the ECT button, and it did make a difference on my 2017 Tacoma SR 2.7. The shift points were different and revved higher. Well, I tell you, when I did it, it was rather disappointing. I don't know. Maybe it's because I have the different motor. I don't know, but I wasn't very happy. Gear Runner says if you have like Bushwhacker flares, not sure anyone makes them for them. David Wilson. If you like Bushwhacker flares, not sure anyone makes them for them. I don't know. Gear Runner says, hey, leave poutine alone. That stuff is awesome. That stuff is disgusting. Wet, soggy fries. Ugh. Krista Greenbean says, yes, Brian, nothing beats poutine. Even the name sounds like it should be X-rated. I don't know. Let's see. I have lost my spot. There we go. Boise City Mopar says, edge every day. No, that stuff is garbage. Terrence says, I gotta run. Good night, everyone. Terrence, we'll see you. Thanks for being on here, buddy. I appreciate it. I'm going to be heading off here in just a minute myself. Thunder Whisper says, hello, all. Hey, T-Dub, what's up? Rubber Rouse says, have a great night, Terrence. Krista Greenbean says, come on now, Dan. The car or the man. Boise City Mopar says, poutine is gross, disgusting, and whoever invented it must have been messed up in the head. Thunder Whisper says, hello, Rebel. And a bunch of hellos. Good night to Terrence. Good night, Terrence. Bunch of hellos to T-Dub. Bunch of hellos back. T-Dub says, hello there, Krista. Boise City Mopar says, well, Rob, you live in Texas, which has even more cows than Idaho. So you're probably paying like 50 cents for a gallon of milk, LOL. And I don't think it's quite that cheap, but you know. Rebel Rouser says, I gotta go. Excuse me. Happy Valentine's Day, LOL. We'll see you, Justin. Thanks for being on, buddy. I appreciate it. Gear Runner says, have a great night and rest of your weekend, everyone. You too, Gear. Thanks for being on, buddy. Let's see. Thank you for deleting that, Gear. I appreciate that. What a handle. Who would pick a handle like that? I don't know. But thanks for getting rid of that. Let's see. Thunder Whisper says, I'm at a loss for dinner. Yeah, me too. Ideas. Anybody eating anything exciting tonight? I don't know. Joe RL says, take care, Rob. Chilly here in Angleton. Yeah, it's starting to get a little chilly here too, but not too bad. Krista Greenbean says, happy V-Day, Justin. And Thunder Whisper says, hey, Edge. On that note, it's been a little over an hour, just a little. And it's time for me to bid you all adieu. Like I said, I'm going to do a little different setup here now that I have everything I ordered. Should be pretty cool. So check it out next time. Let me know what you think. I don't know. Let's see. Edge Every Day says, sorry, Joe. Try to remove the other guy. Rebel Rouser says, sardines. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate you taking care of that. Thunder Whisper says, that's a bit strong for a channel name. Oh, it's a troll. Krista Greenbean says, good stuff, T-Dub. That's it. I'm caught up, and I am out of here. See you next time on the web. Have a good night, everybody. Bye.